All right, in this video, I'm going to share with you, I think, two or three incidents, really embarrassing incidents that took place. Painfully embarrassing those days, but when I look at it today, I kind of feel it funny. But it involved eating with a fork and knife in an establishment where you had to eat fork and knife. It will be when me and my mother, we went to uh, Pizza Hut for the first time when Pizza Hut was a thing, and we didn't know the protocol of how to order salad. I'll give you very embarrassing. And um, when me and my mom went for a buffet, all you can eat buffet. And what are the really crazy, embarrassing things we did there? Okay. Now I'll give you the actual incidents that took place. Obviously, they will be, because it's so far, so many years, 20, 30 years ago, the details would be rather sketchy. But you can be rest assured, these are the actual incidents that did take place. Okay, feel free to let me know your thoughts. And yes, this is part of my life, so I'm not shy about it. Neither am I embarrassed, but at that time it was embarrassing. Okay, so the first one. This is during my days in Dubai, UAE. I think I was maybe 14 or 15 years old. So you're literally talking about 30 years ago, 30. Okay, I was a young man. And my mother was the type who would always go out to all these new restaurants and try something new, adventurous. So because she didn't have any friends or she didn't have any groups, she would take me with her. Okay, so we would dress up with whatever we could. There was this nice little outlet, Filipino, owned by a Filipino Indian owner. Its name was Golden Fork Restaurant. For those of you who have been in Dubai for very many years, would know this outlet. They really exploded in popularity, and then obviously, as time went on, they had to shut down the branches, and I think they closed down. Not too sure. Okay, so Golden Fork. What they served here was Filipino dishes and continental, and I don't know if they served Indian dishes, but I think it was Filipino, continental, American fast food, very popular stuff, and it was very popular with the Filipinos. Okay, one of our favorites was one with yellow curry and crab and prawns and seafood. And I remember that so very well because those days, I don't know, my stomach or my health, I could eat that. And then there was another one where you could order beef with beef or chicken fried or uh, barbecued with vegetables at the side and French fries at the side. Or you could order prawns, a nice array of prawns and crabs. And they were the only ones who actually introduced the concept of all the seafood kept on ice, and you could literally choose which seafood you wanted, and they would charge you accordingly. But the only drawback was that smell of seafood was very strong in the restaurant, which was not very common for an Indian. But for Filipinos, they're very used to it. Okay. So they bought this kind of Filipino kind of style of eating here, which was very new. So my mother, obviously wanted to experiment and check what is all this. So went with my mother. Okay. Went there. They have a nice display, just like you go to Burger King or McDonald's or anywhere. They have photographs of the items with the price, and you can choose what you want. So there was that seafood which was kept on ice, and then there was salad. You could take a salad with this thing. But me and my mother, we went to the counter. This was near where St. Michael's Church was there, old St. Michael's Church near Sharjah. From I would say the old St. Michael's Church. I think they call it the mobile roundabout to where Sharjah Indian School. It is at the same location where that roundabout to the other roundabout. It was in the middle, okay, on the right hand side. Right hand side, if you're facing the school, okay. So it was a very popular joint. So we went there. So as usual, we checked what was on the, what was on display, and I loved prawns. I loved crabs. Even my mother did. So we ordered one of that bowl with crabs and prawns and seafood and shells. Okay, yellow soup. We didn't know how that would taste, but we said, okay, we'll order one of that. And we ordered two other dishes. One was, I think I ordered with the prawns and the crabs and the chicken, along with the French fries and peas, peas and carrots, which you get in a plastic. They cook it. I don't know if it was fresh. I don't think it was fresh. They would give it tartar sauce and they would give mustard and ketchup. And my mother also kind of ordered the same. It was like a oval dish. Okay. So we sat down and we waited. And finally, it arrived. It arrived, nice big bowl of soup and the dishes, that prawns and crabs and everything else. Once it came, we were very happy, looked very delicious. And then, they had kept the fork and knife, and my mother also saw the fork and knife. And now we are looking at the dish. Now, obviously, the impulsive part is start eating with your hands. But then my mother looked at left and right, and she saw everyone eating with a fork and knife or fork and spoon or whatever. So my mother said, look, people are eating with their fork and knife. Behave yourself in this restaurant, she was telling me, and eat properly with a fork and knife. For me, a 14, 15-year-old kid, I'm like, oh, okay, fine. So I took you know how you hold a fork and knife. You just hold it like this. So I'm holding it like this, and this way. Do I have a fork and knife? Okay, I'll just show you with these two. This is a can opener. Okay, so I'm holding it like this, and I'm going like this because, obviously I didn't know how to position my fingers. Today maybe I know because I've thought myself, but those days I was, like this. So now everything was fine. Everything was fine. But have you ever tried eating crabs with fork and knife, or shrimp, prawns with fork and knife? Or worse, have you tried eating a chicken with bone with fork and knife? I don't think it's very easy. Okay, yes, you can jab the chicken with a fork and you can try cutting with a knife. All the best with that. But the minute it slips, your chicken or the dish, because of the way it slipped, can fly out of your plate. And to look sophisticated, my mother was trying to use the fork to have the peas inside. Then she took the spoon to get the peas and the carrots. And then I was also trying to do the same. And when it was not working out, I was looking left and right and using my fingers to put it in the spoon. Nothing was so bad until I don't know what happened. I can't recollect whether it was my mother who did it first or I did it first. I think it was my mother. A fork or a spoon slipped, and she was holding the fork and the thing this way, and it slipped. And when it slipped, this action, the peas that was there flew from the plate and went and fell on somebody else. It rained on them. And then they were like looking at us. They're like, what the hell is this? And my mother was like, she turned pale white with embarrassment. And I was looking this way, and, my mother's like, oh, what? So I was like looking. And because I was staring at that direction, they thought it was me. And thankfully, it was a Filipino family. They didn't say anything. But the waitress I don't know. She just saw, or maybe she heard. Then she came and asked, "Excuse me, is there any problem?" So my mother, "No, no, 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 nothing, nothing." And I was also quite over there, and we both were embarrassed. And my mother said, "Just quietly eat with your fingers." So, just quietly eat with your fingers. So, and my mother was very embarrassed. She felt very bad. For me, I was shameless. I didn't give a damn. And my mother, after we ate food, we took our takeaway, whatever. We went out. We went out. My mother didn't say anything, but she was like, oh, she was like very upset. Okay. So that was one embarrassing incident that did take place. But the silver lining to this is because later on, when I grew up, because I went to all these joints and I realized it's kind of cool. People don't give a damn whether you eat with the hands or the fork and knife. My mother assumed. I took her there to, I think I was in 18, 19, or 20 years or whatever, to break that fear out of here. Okay, so that was a silver lining. All right. The second embarrassing thing that did take place, and this was in Pizza Hut when it was just a very brand new entity. And you're talking of the, I think, late 80s or 90s, when there was only one Pizza Hut in Alwada Street. For those of you who have lived in Dubai for very many years, would know the location. There was only one, and it was the standard red design. So my mother wanted to try a pizza. I mean, we didn't know what was a pizza. There was no TV, there was no internet. A TV was there, but we couldn't Google search. There was no Google. So my mother said, let's go eat a pizza. Ah, okay, fine. Very happy. We'll go eat a pizza. So we managed to get a parking there. And my mother and I walked in, and there we saw the pizza. Normally, it was only Arab locals, Emiratis who would go there, or foreigners, okay, or people who were slightly rich, because we were like not the upper echelon or the upper middle class. We were very shy to go. We would go to a Indian outlet or a affordable small little roadside outlet, but we would not go to Pizza Hut, which was supposed to be premier. It was supposed to be a big name, like, at least that's what we assumed. So my mother went in, I went in, and I remember there were not very many people there. There was just this, I think it was the Emirati family at one corner. So we went there, and obviously they have pizzas displayed at the top. Okay, different kind of pizzas, and they have this nice glossy menu. So my mother looked at it, and I still remember we ordered Super Supreme. Super Supreme was with chicken, meat, all that stuff. Everything was there. And we ordered, I think it was a medium, or we didn't take large, I think. Definitely didn't take small. So we took maybe a medium or whatever. Okay. And, Coke with whatever that came. It came as a package. So after we took that, we went and sat down. And for those of you who know, here, if this is the counter, and here you stand and order with a line. Behind that is the salad counter. And then behind that is where people sit, in this way. Okay, two by two, two by two, in between, there's a walking area. So we went and sat down, and suddenly my mother just told me, hey, there is salad. The salad bar. She's saying, let's go and take some salad. I was like, oh, okay, we can take some salad. My mother assumed the salad was so. My mother assumed the salad was for free. Okay, so what did she do? My my mother took one plate, and she took one plate, and she put a little bit there, and she said, "You also take a plate." So I also took a plate. So, and what we did is we put a little bit of salad, both my plate and then we were not aware of the fact you pay per plate. That is why people take one plate and they mount it like a mountain. They just keep, stacking on top of each other to save money. So we thought we can just take a little bit on a plate. And after we took the two plates, we immediately went for the second serving so that we didn't have to get up. And we took two other plates. So we ended up taking four plates. Took the four plates, little salad, a little salad, little, and we are nicely munching. Suddenly, the Filipina lady, she was a Filipina lady, slightly tall. She said, "Excuse me, did you, so you want four salads? You want four salads?" So my mother looked at her, "Yeah, we want salad." "So you want four?" Because she saw the four plates. So my mother said, like, she immediately tried to calculate. She said, "How much for a salad?" So I can't remember how much it was. I think it was 75 or 50 or dirhams. She said, "It's 50 per plate." She said, "No, no, no, we just want one salad." He said, "But you've taken four plates." So my mother didn't know what to do. You know what my mother did? Four plates were there. No? She put all the three in one plate. And she said, These plates, you can take it back." It was, thank goodness, like they say, that Filipina lady was a little understanding and empathetic. She must have understood that we never ordered. So she didn't charge us for the four plates, she charged us for one plate. But the only drawback was we took a little salad. And we didn't know that you can take only once. You can't take again and again. Because how we realized that is, after we finished the salad, when we went again, she saw us. And by the time then she came out again, she said, "Madam, you can take only one time. Just take one time. You can't take again and again." Okay? So my mother looked at her and she was wondering whether to take or not to take. She was very embarrassed. I don't think my mother took a filling. She just took a little bit because she was really insulted. Because she not only made a mistake once, she made it twice. So my mother took a little bit. Thankfully, I think that lady didn't charge us for four plates or twice that my mother went. But my mother was really embarrassed. And I don't think she enjoyed the pizza very much. She just took a little bit of a pizza, this thing, then she asked for a takeaway and we went away. But for me, well, just eating. So that was the second embarrassing incident where we didn't know that you're supposed to, how we are supposed to order salad. Okay. Now, the third incident that I'll share with you, I think I'll share with you two here, back to back, is this one happened when I went to Dublin, Ireland. Okay, Dublin, Ireland, where, I was married to my first wife, who was Irish. And please, before I do share this, I want you to understand, I want to make a disclaimer out there. The Irish people are nice people. My relatives, in-laws, they're not racist. It was just, for them, it was the first time meeting an Indian. And for me, it was the first time meeting Irish people. So whatever happened there, it is not racism. It is not racist. It was just two different cultures, two different individuals, not familiar with each other. And that is what led to an embarrassing incident. Okay. Having said that, please understand the Irish people, those people at least. Yes, there are racist people, there are racist people from the UK, US, whatever, but these people are not racist. Okay, I want to be clear. Yes, they do have a preference where they may not like Indians or Pakistanis or whatever, but I want to be clear on it. I don't want you jumping on them because it's not fair, it's not right. They don't have a platform like I do. Okay. And just so that you know, I had been in touch with them, not in touch with them, and we are perfectly okay with each other. Okay. So having said that, so after I got married to my Irish wife, I was a new spectacle brown Indian guy from Dubai. They didn't know where was Dubai. They knew where was India, but they thought Indians were, wearing a turban and doing boo with a cobra in a magic carpet. That's what they thought Indians. But here you saw a guy with, shirt and jeans and all that. Okay. So the Irish people, at least Clondalk in the village that I was from, they would order lots of food, and their food was always fish and chips, something with chips, lots of chips, big chips with, they call it curry, but it's not like an Indian curry. It's just like a sauce. And with a massive big piece of cod or fish fry, or I don't know, sometimes they can even serve chicken, big, really big pieces. So that is what they would normally eat. And then obviously the Irish dishes. So for me, I was adjusting myself to get used to it. And it was at this time where my relationship with her was not actually working out, but they were tolerating me, and they were being accommodating, I would say. So I I think I that day they were serving vegetables, fresh vegetables, along with meat. They eat a lot of meat, either pork or whatever. There was a lot of meat, and there was like rice with, not actually rice. I think it was meat mixed with some vegetables. Okay. So after they ordered all this, they were, they eat with fork and knife. But here I was, because I was at home and because, it was comfortable, I was eating with my hands. And as I was eating with my hands, all of a sudden, they had some of their other friends or colleagues or, drinking buddies. They came in, and we were sitting in various places near the sofa or wherever. You can sit wherever you want and you can eat. Everyone's eating their own plate. So I was sitting in one place and I was eating with my hands, when all of a sudden, because they were piss drunk, mind you, remember, they were piss drunk. They're like, "Yee, yuck, what the fuck? He's eating with his hands." Ugh. They went that way. And I was like, yeah, I'm eating with my hands. What? How do you want me to eat? With my legs? Saying, "Don't you eat with a fork and knife?" Okay, one of them chimed in. Um, to which he was also drunk, yeah, and he was not one of those classy type characters. So they said he's from India. Oh, the India, woo! They went with the snake and all that stuff. They kind of mocked and made fun of me. And I'll tell you, at that particular point, maybe because I was all alone and there was no internet, or I really felt embarrassed. I really felt insulted. I really wanted to stop eating, but I was just quiet. I just looked down and, okay, today I can assure you, whether it's Canadian, whether it's European, whether it's Irish, whether it's UK, they all are very aware of people who eat with their hands. In fact, many of them eat with their hands, pizzas, or you cannot eat a pizza with a fork and knife unless you're some aristocrat. So many of them eat with their hands, which is perfectly fine, with their fingers, sorry. And it's not like we're squishing like how they show in the village, like Indian village squishing with that. We use our fingers, and fingers for taste. And there's an art form in doing that. But at that particular point, I they obviously, there was no Google, there was no internet to check all this information, there was no YouTube. So they found it funny, disgusting, hilarious, and I was absolutely, oh, I felt like shit. But I, I can tell you, after a few weeks of that incident, I did meet a couple of Irish people who, when I did share the incident, they're like, "What the fuck is this?" And they ate the French fries with their hands, and they said, "We don't give a flying fuck." So they were good Irish people who didn't take that aristocratic thing very, very seriously. Okay. So, and by the way, that family was not aristocratic. They're just not used to a different culture. I'm pretty sure today they are very aware of all these different cultures. So, yeah, I'll just end with this bonus one. I'll not drag it too long. Um, at every phase of my life, I've seen different cultures. I've seen different people from different backgrounds who do different things. Some can be embarrassing. Some can be, yee, you look at it, yuck. Um, but it's only when you travel, no? Only when you travel the world and meet different people from different cultures, and not just the rich. You meet the middle class. You meet the poor. You will, your, you being in your comfort zone, it'll go out, and there you'll learn to appreciate different cultures. Like, for example, when you go to India, uh, this has really happened in India. Um, I think this was during the 90s when my mother took me to Mumbai, which is Bombay, and we had to go to Mangalore. and there was no seat available for the bus. But my mother's sister's husband's brother, who drives a truck, used to drive a truck from one part of India to the southern part. He said, "Why don't you come with me? Okay, you'll enjoy the adventure of being in a truck." I was super happy because the next, I can drive in a truck. Little did I know that it would take 3 days, and little did I know that 3 days or 2 days, and little did I know that there's no toilets. I'll have to poop in the jungle. I don't want to get too graphic about this, but I kept my poop as long as I could until finally I had to go in the jungle, actually go in the jungle with a tin can. And I ended up going to one place, and to my absolute and most horrific embarrassment, a group of schoolgirls going to school, they all were passing by as I was pooping. And I had to bury my head as I was squatting and shitting. And I didn't know what to do, where to run, because my trousers are down. I'm pooping there. And then, if that was not bad enough, I ended up with a dog wagging its tail coming near me. And I was wondering, what the hell is this? Little did I know the dog was waiting for me to finish poop so it could eat. I literally ran. Yes, I had to wash my rear end. That was a different story altogether. So that was by far the most embarrassing. The most embarrassing. And I made sure that I never had to go with a truck again. They all enjoyed a great laugh. They laughed. And I made sure that even if I did, that they would stop at a hotel or they would stop somewhere where we could use the toilet. I know I must have saved the worst for last, the most embarrassing, the most disgusting one. But I'm giving you a real life example of what actually happened. And by the way, FYI, that family, they still live in a hut. And if you had to go to the toilet, you had to go to the forest to poop, piss, even have a shower. There was a particular area. It's like complete this place that is dedicated. They keep using firewood and all that. It's completely black. Whole thing is black with a big earthen pot where you have to take hot water and use it. For those of you who have been in India would know, it's one section to have bath and you take water from there. There was no tap water, nothing. You bring water from the well, put it in that and have bath. Those were the days. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts. And like I told you, I'm not ashamed of my poverty. I'm not ashamed of my simplicity. I'm not ashamed of where I came from because this is part of my reality. Anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts. Did you find it shocking? Are you one of those individuals like me who has seen poverty, who has come from the village, who has seen all this? Or am I the only one? Love to know your thoughts. Good, bad, ugly. Feel free, comment down below. This is me signing off. Take care.